family show where we try to calm things down a little bit. We are toning it down. 92.7 FM and 1580 AM. I'm sure you've probably noticed that already. We're broadcasting from State Street. And you can always get us on the Civic Media app, text us, or give us a call. We'd love to hear from you.
Sure we would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, really, serious.
I know.
No,
I'm not
you
being
kid.
sarcastic.
You kid, but, you know, we would love to hear from you.
Yes.
Really. I know you don't care. You don't
do
care if we ever hear from anybody. I know that you resent the comments.
What are you talking about?
I'm just making it up.
Right out of the gate
I don't know.
here.
I'm just trying to.
We would love to hear from everybody. 608-879-8255. It's the John and Gordy Show. It's Dumpster Fire Friday.
They hated me. Remember, we voted. You know, who's your least favorite of John and Gordy?
Yeah, you won that one.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. We'll give
You
you a
love
trophy.
saying it, don't you? You won that, John.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there this morning.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
You know, Maxwell Street days continuing through the weekend here downtown on State Street. Also, the Dane County Fair. They're going to have a beautiful day today. Looks bright and sunny. Right now, it's 61 degrees. We ready to get the slot machine going already?
Yeah.
You want to do that now?
A slot machine.
You ready? I don't know.
Gambling at 6 in the morning.
Why not?
Well, we're going to gamble on the temperature.
Yep.
The high temperature.
The high
today.
temperature. Let's.
Well, I hate to get this wrong.
Let's crank up the one-arm bandit. Here we go. There we go. Okay. And round the wheels go. First number doesn't count. Second one is 7, and the third one is 8.
Wow.
78 for a high
That is
today.
fantastic.
Yeah.
One of these days, we're going to hit the jackpot.
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
What happens then? Is that like some kind of severe weather event?
Ooh, I don't know. We don't know, you know?
Or is that jackpot as in we're going to have like amazing weather?
We'll just have to wait and see,
I was
guess.
thinking about that. What would the jackpot be?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Or would it just be coins?
Gordy, you're the weatherman. We're looking to you for answers here.
Well, you helped build the machine. I don't know what you would put into it, right? I mean,
I guess
we got it used. It was a piece of junk in the back of the Ho Chunk Casino. They
found
didn't
it on
want
the
it
side
anymore.
of the road. Yeah.
Speaking of weather, Twisters is out this weekend.
Yeah, Twisters is out this
right?
week. Yeah.
We're gonna go see it.
Yeah.
Is it out
A lot
in
of
the movie
pre-sale
theaters?
pre-sale ticket through the roof. So
Yeah, really?
everybody's buying the stuff up. And that just reminds me, I was going to reserve a seat at the Marcus Theaters, and I forgot to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy, you
For
know,
this
I probably
weekend?
yeah. No, for next Tuesday. You know, they have like $5, $6 ticket night.
Yeah.
Or day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another thing that's happening this evening, Pod Save America. That's at the Orpheum. We'll be there
tonight.
Yeah, and doors open at 6. Shows at 7. We're going to be there to help welcome everybody into the Orpheum, and that'll be a fun show, I think.
Well,
Interesting show.
At least this time, try not to swear at everybody as they were leaving.
I have a habit of doing that. I don't know why. I can't control it.
Well, politics makes you angry, and by the time the end of the night rolls around, you know, you're
disgusted. Yeah, like last night watching Trump up there on the stage. I mean, it was just. I know you checked out early, probably.
Well, I did. I was in bed already.
Yeah.
And then Ann said, "Yeah, he just came out," and I thought, well, I might as well just see what he looks like. And I missed his slow stroll out. Something's wrong with him.
I don't know.
Look.
He's very
subdued. If no one else noticed it, I'm going to start the rumor here. I think something's wrong with him. I think he was affected by it. Let me just get this out right away.
All right.
I talked to my mega friend in Milwaukee, and I said, yeah, you know, we haven't heard any medical reports coming from the Trump administration. Well, I mean, Trump campaign.
Right.
And we'd like to know what happened, you know, with the injury to his ear, or if there's any further injury because it was a high-velocity bullet.
Yeah, they really haven't said anything, have
and
they?
nothing was said. And he said, yeah, that's a really important thing because a high-velocity bullet has all this energy around it, and it's and it has an impact whether you know it hits, strikes you or not. It has an impact around it that could affect, you know, his hearing, his brain.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Well, he said it sounded like a great big mosquito. That's the only comment.
A loud crack.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, but my other son said, you know, it broke the sound barrier, so there should be at least, some of that noise that he had heard.
Well,
and
it
could become, high velocity bullets have like a radius of like 2 inches around it of energy, just incredible energy. And once that glides past you, you're going to get that energy. It's going to impact you in some way. And this actually struck his body, his ear.
Right.
So I think something's wrong with his ear.
Well,
I think he's lost the hearing in his right ear.
You think so?
And that's the rumor I'm starting here on the show today.
Based on no facts at all.
Well, okay, here's the fact. He was sitting with J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
And Vance was on his right side. And they did not converse. They did not say a word to each other.
Yeah. That's kind of odd, isn't it?
Yeah, because he can't hear on that ear.
Well, he's got that great big bandage.
Well, that doesn't block everything.
Well, who knows? I don't know. Maybe
it's not soundproof.
Could be.
Maybe they secretly hate each other.
Well,
already?
Yeah. He only hired him because the guy put out a movie and,
that's it.
Was able to communicate.
Yeah. Well, the big news this morning is this big cyber security thing, too.
Yes.
This is like affecting airports all over the world.
Well, who cares about the airports?
What?
I almost didn't have a show today.
What?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
I was telling Gordy before you came in, my hometown news station posted something on social media saying that they were struggling with putting together their morning shows because, like, OneDrive was down. I think Microsoft 365 was down.
Yeah. And everybody has all this stuff on it. I mean, it's a sure thing. And then when it went down, I had all our clips, everything on it.
Yeah.
I couldn't transfer it over. And I'm thinking, wow,
well,
might not have anything this morning. Which
would anybody notice?
No one would notice. It's like I bring all this stuff in, right?
Right.
And we never get to it.
Tons of material.
we never get to any of it.
I've got a stack that's an
inch
and a half thick over here.
It's like a phone book.
Old scripts. It is.
Yeah.
It is. So should we get to the National Day calendar? And
all right.
I don't know what's going to happen with this cyber attack. I don't know. They're trying to track it down. Has a major tech malfunction. It's grounded flights worldwide. Everybody's looking at their screens. They have the blue screen of death.
It was some tech company that, in association with Microsoft, somehow something happened with that, and it affected Microsoft.
CrowdStrike?
Yeah, I know that CrowdStrike pushed an update out to people, and they're like like you said, a cybersecurity company, so they deal with login stuff. I'm guessing. So I'm guessing people just kind of got booted out of their accounts and can't get back into access programs.
Well, that was the problem. Yeah, I wasn't logged into OneDrive or even Microsoft Windows anymore, so I had to re-sign up. I thought, oh no, there goes everything I've ever had in my life. Up on the cloud, gone.
Oh boy, you panicked.
I was panicking. Yeah. I was.
Just calm down. We'll get through it. They'll figure everything out.
Well, everything's back to normal.
All these people that are in airports, major and smaller airports all across the world, they're all standing around waiting for things to get back to normal, and it's going to take a while.
Well, how do they deal with that?
I don't know.
Did they ever pass that bill where they were going to reimburse everybody whose flights were canceled or delayed? That you can just go and get a reimbursement.
Well,
instead of getting to run around and having to sit there all night long or all day long.
I think they give them free hotel rooms. That's it.
Well, no, I think
if you're lucky.
I think there was a bill that dealt with that.
Yeah.
Having to pay for all this stuff if they ever did that. It was to cut down on, delays or cancellations.
Okay.
Because they were just abusing it.
There was a bill. I don't think it passed. Don't quote me on that, though.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And Pete Buttigieg was part of that. It's transportation.
Is that so? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to the National Day calendar today. It's July 19th. Can you believe that?
It's already.
Month is just flying by.
Yeah.
Is it or is it not Play Day? Is it Daiquiri Day? Daiquiri Day.
Daiquiri. Yes.
Is it Retainer Day? Is it Words with Friends Day? Is it National Horseshoes Day? Which day does not belong?
It's not National Horseshoes Day. I know that you want to set that up in your backyard. I know you do.
I do. You are correct, sir.
Yes, I know.
You got one right for a change.
Well, I remember our conversations. We were talking about it in your cement backyard.
They paved over
maybe we
the
can
whole
at least
yard.
have that. Yeah, I know.
I don't know why Why would somebody do that? I don't understand. It would have been a nice, small backyard.
Yeah.
But they just paved it over.
You know, from Baraboo, Mr. Hillbilly over here, going to the big city and having
Hillbilly.
that cement backyard.
Okay. All right. Let's get to national days here. National Play Day. It's Play Day. You feel like playing? Hey, here we go. National Play Day. Summer's in full swing on July 19th, and this is all written like this. And the perfect the day celebrate National Play Day. I'm not making that up. That's what it says.
Maybe that's how they wanted you to read it.
Maybe. It's time to unleash your inner child, spark your creativity, and learn why play is an important part of being happy. Mm-hmm. Play is one of the most simple yet rewarding activities you can do. It unlocks curiosity and allows you to explore the world in an engaging way. Besides being fun, play opens a sense of enjoyment that's essential for development and overall well-being.
Yes, that's true.
In fact, play can actually help build problem-solving skills to help navigate challenges we face in life. So play today.
Yes, Play Day.
Play Day.
I mean, I was just thinking when you were reading that maybe we consider maybe X a way to play. I mean, you just sit there and you just kind of consume your time, and you're
scroll through
entertained by it, interested in it.
Gen Zers have a word for that. It's brain rotting.
Well, Gen Zers are the ones playing games.
That's true. But if you're just doom scrolling all day long,
you're right.
Doom scrolling?
Yeah, that's another word for it.
It is.
Scrolling on social
doom
media.
Doom scrolling, yeah. You just sit there forever, just, whiling away your time.
Get depressed?
That happens on Facebook all the time. That's why I hate Facebook more than anything.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it more than anything, too.
Okay. Well, if you want something else to do, it's National Daiquiri Day.
It's fun.
People across the U.S. fill their glasses with rum-based cocktail and toast to National Daiquiri Day. So raise your glass and join in the celebration.
Well, I haven't heard about daiquiris in like thousands of years.
Does anybody drink daiquiris anymore? Okay, we'll get to the rest of the National Day calendar and crack open the history books in just a moment as we continue with the John and Gordy Show for Friday.
WMDX 92.7 FM and 1580 AM, broadcasting from the capital city of Wisconsin, Madison, and overlooking
Beautiful
State Street.
Yeah.
And they've set up the blockade already for Maxwell Street Days.
Yeah. There were a lot of people out there yesterday, and that continues through the weekend.
There it is. We've got a camera shot of that in case you just drive into work and you're watching it on your phone.
There it is.
We're not on X now, though.
We're not?
Are we off of X now?
It really killed our video viewership. Most of the people who watched us were on X.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you started charging.
But they can still see us on Facebook, right?
Facebook and YouTube.
Well, we'll get over our little tantrum. we'll pay Elon.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. The John and Gordy Show, sponsored by Verlo Mattress of Madison. Sleep better, dream bigger on a handcrafted, locally made mattress. You can find them on Madison's east and west sides or online at verlo.com. Okay?
All right.
Should we get back
great.
to the National Day calendar?
Yes.
You okay?
You
need a better mattress. You should get a Verlo mattress. Get some sleep.
I just can't wait for this exciting feature on our show.
Well, the next day on the calendar here is International Retainer Day. Okay? You all right over there?
Oh, God.
If you had braces, after you get the braces off, they give you a retainer to keep your teeth straight.
You're supposed to wear it for the rest of your damn life.
I guess, or at least for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, International Retainer Day celebrates the beauty of International Retainer Day. What? The International Day challenges you to make a commitment to your beautiful smile. We're using today to learn about what's behind keeping a straight and beautiful smile years after orthodontic treatment. Your retainer. Ah, yes, it's a time
to reminisce.
Reminisce about your retainers were invented in the early 1900s to help stop teeth from shifting so your smile stays straight and nice. What? Now, if you don't wear your retainer after orthodontic treatment, your teeth tend to shift.
No,
They may even relapse to their old crooked positions.
Well, I'll be darned.
So wear those retainers, okay? That's the message.
I'm really it's a message my orthodontist didn't have.
Did you have braces?
I did. I had braces,
and
it was a nightmare.
Yeah, I wore
We should get a side-by-side picture of each of you with braces, if you have one, or if you avoided a camera during that time of your life. I can understand that.
I think I did, yeah.
I might have one, but the retainer thing wasn't a big deal. I mean, they gave you a retainer when you left the office, and that was about it. Never said, "Oh, you got to wear it all the time for the rest of your life."
Well, I think
just come back in for a fitting. Update it
6 months or so, or maybe a year.
They didn't have that back then.
No, they didn't.
No.
Yeah.
So my bottom teeth just went right back where they were.
Oh, my.
Even though they took out 4 teeth just to make some room in there.
Very sad.
Oh, thank you.
We'll have to get Chris Kammer in here and talk to you about that.
Yeah. Actually, Chris is taking care of my son.
Is that right?
Yeah,
well,
he needs
care of me the other day.
He needs to get refitted for the retainers he ran out of, and nothing's happened yet. So we'll see.
You ought to share any more on that? Or?
No.
Okay. National Words with Friends Day. Recognizes friendly competition and smart wordplay. The celebration honors the 2009 launch of the popular game franchise. Have you ever heard of this franchise, Words with Friends Day? Or Words with Friends?
No.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're reading this one. I figured it was just going to be an advertisement for the game.
Is that all it is? I don't know. Words with Friends.
My mom went through a period probably like 7 or 8 years ago at this point, where she was obsessed with this game.
Oh, no kidding.
I've never heard of this
It's
game.
kind of like virtual Scrabble.
Okay. Virtual Scrabble.
Yeah, it's a phone game.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's it. That's it for the National Day calendar.
Is that really it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, God.
Oh, you want to double check here?
Yeah, just, it seems really short today.
Actually, no. How about the history books, Sam?
Yeah.
What's going on July 19th?
Time to hit the books?
Yeah. What happened on this date?
Oh, boy. Going way back for the first one here.
Yeah.
Way back in the book.
Yeah.
Today in 64, the Great Fire...
1964?
No, not 1964.
Just 64?
64.
Wow.
The Great Fire of Rome begins.
Mm-hmm.
And Nero doesn't play the fiddle because the fiddle hadn't yet been invented.
So that's a myth.
Wow. That's an amazing detail.
Yes. Before, by the end of the fire, over 70% of Rome had been destroyed.
Ooh,
yeah.
That seems like a lot.
It is, yeah. Let's see what else. Connecting ancient history to the modern day.
Mm-hmm.
Today in 1799, the Rosetta Stone is discovered.
Mm.
The Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
That's that software where you can...
Yeah, it's how you learn other languages, right?
Wow, that started in 1799?
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. The Rosetta Stone was... it was an inscription on this big sheet of rock in 3 languages, ancient Greek, Latin, and ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. And at that time, like, Egyptology was like a brand new field. Nobody had been really studying ancient Egypt. And so nobody... What?
Are you making this up?
No, I'm not making this up.
You're just all off the top of your head.
He's not reading anything. He's sitting there. Mr. Scientist.
I thought people knew that. I thought people knew this.
Everybody knew this.
Okay.
Well,
tell us more.
Okay, Brainiac.
So for a couple thousand years, we didn't know how to decipher ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. We didn't know how to read ancient Egyptian. And then this text came up where the same piece of text was written in 3 different languages, and we were finally able to start deciphering it.
Oh, that's a pretty cool
I never knew all that stuff.
Yeah.
Rosetta Stone. Okay.
Of course, everybody knows that story, you know. we're just teasing you.
Maybe I just read Wikipedia too much. I don't know.
Maybe. Right. But it's wonderful that you have that information.
Yeah. Okay. We learned something new from Sam today.
That's good.
Anything else happen on this date?
Today in 1843, the SS Great Britain launches. It's the first ship to combine an iron hull and a screw propeller. It was a huge ship for the time. It was like over I want to say 3,500. No, at 3,500 tons is not. It might be right, but I know it's like in more than 1,000 whatever unit, bigger than any other ship that was around at the time.
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Peabody. It's nice to know that you have that history information.
I'm doing my best here, John.
Have you ever thought about getting on Jeopardy? And you'd be great at that.
Yeah. Okay, could you just fill me in the screw propeller? Was it the first time they used something like that?
Think of like a propeller on a boat.
Right. But it was in a screw shape. It wasn't.
Well, no, just like a regular propeller. Like think of a boat propeller.
Right.
That's all that we have these days. Before that, like a river steamboat where it's got the big wheel on the side. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was how they moved steamships.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, fascinating.
Let's go back
stunned
into the Wayback Machine and have Mr. Peabody show us around.
Is that it for the history?
One other one I want to touch on today in 1848. The Women's Rights Convention in Seneca Falls launches the suffrage movement in the United States.
1848.
That is great. That is great. Mm-hmm. All right. And birthdays? You got some birthdays?
Samuel Colt, the guy who invented the revolver, born today in 1814. And I should have pulled up a Queen song. We'll come back with that. Brian May was born today in 1947.
Okay. Very good, Sam.
Very interesting.
Thank you for the history lesson.
Yeah,
fascinating.
Wow. You're doing my part for the show.
Can you tell us about the pyramids next time around and how they figured those out? Okay, 6:29 and 61 degrees. Back with more of the John and Gordy Show in just mere moments.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, what a thrill. Goodness, your records just quitting balls of fire. I let that love all I thought it was funny. You came along and you moved me, honey. I changed my mind, but it's fine. Goodness gracious, quitting balls of fire.
Radio WMDX 92.7 FM at 1580 AM. The John and Gordy, the dumb John and Gordy guys. Family show version.
It's 6:35.
We don't know what we're talking about anymore.
Yeah, it's, Sam, you were on the phone there during our time away here, and but you didn't want to take that phone call on the air. What was that about?
A listener, Kathy, called in, and she said she'd like to thank me for keeping the show together when we've got two dummies in the studio who don't know about the Rosetta Stone.
And why didn't you put her on the air? We would have loved to have talked to her.
I should have kept her on.
Oh, man.
Kathy, if you're still listening, we'd love to talk to you.
Sure.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Kathy.
Well, but now we know. I mean, you have all this wealth of knowledge we never even realized. I mean, you were a history minor or major?
Yes, history minor.
What did you major in?
Communication arts.
Okay.
Yeah, hence working at a radio station.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Okay, well, the two dummies will continue. And,
yeah, we don't know nothing, so
nope, we don't.
I don't know.
We're still on air.
We'll just talk about something.
Okay.
Well, we have a...
It's Dumpster Fire Friday.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And what we have to do is we have to throw everything about the RNC away today. It's got to go away today. Yeah. This is the last week.
The convention is over.
Let's put a nail in this coffin and toss everything out.
Yeah.
But we have so many things to talk about when it comes to the convention.
Wait a second.
Is
wait a
Kathy
second.
on the line?
I think Sam's got Kathy on the line. No, I don't know.
Oh, wait. Was it Catherine?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. Okay. Sam, do we have a caller on the line?
Yeah, Kathy's back.
All right, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. Good morning, Kathy.
Hi. This is Kathy B here. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I do laud Sam for his hard work. You guys, and you have a pretty fun show. I listen to it most of the time. Yeah.
So, well, great.
In and out, but I do like the history stuff and the birthdays and dates and things. So keep up the good work. You all do okay. How's your tooth, John?
It's Gordy.
Gordy's got the bad
Yeah. It's okay now. Yeah, they took care of it. Yeah, I had an exposed nerve. It was really painful, but
and had a partial.
Well, it's a long story, but
root canal. And now
did you have a root canal? Or
well, I had
a partial one,
half a root canal. Got to do the other half sometime soon.
Yeah, I have no idea what a half a root canal would be.
I don't understand it either.
They put in a spike or something, and they make molds and do whatever if they have to do any partial fillings and all. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
I'm old. I have had a lot of dental work done. It's not fun,
Yeah.
I know it.
I do have most of my own teeth. Yeah.
Well, sadly.
So what are you all doing this weekend?
Well, we're going to Pod Save America tonight.
Yeah, that's at the Orpheum Theater.
Oh yeah.
Right.
The
that's
19th,
happening.
Isn't it?
Also, the Dane County Fair is going on, so that's some fun
and we'd
stuff.
like to send somebody out there to check in and see what the new fried foods are going to be. The deep fried foods.
Yes.
We do that in Wisconsin.
All three of us are going to go ride the Ferris wheel, right?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And then
oh boy.
And then the tilt and hurl.
Maybe we should ask Sam about your root canal. Sam, what do you think he should do with his root canal?
Yeah.
I'm no dentist. I don't know.
Okay.
No.
What are you doing this weekend, Kathy?
Yeah, what are you doing, Kathy?
Oh.
What do you have happening?
Probably weeding while the weather's nice.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Exciting
Get out in the
things
garden.
like that.
Yeah.
It's been so.
Do you live in
so
Madison?
Much of the time. Yes, I do. I live at on 2 miles east of the square on Williamson Street.
Oh, okay.
William Street. Great.
Hop, skip, and a jump from you guys. Yeah.
It's nice down there. Yeah.
All right, Kathy. Well,
I've lived here. I've lived here since '71.
Have you?
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you experienced some of the leftovers from the '60s, and everybody migrated to the east side.
Boy.
Right?
Yeah. 20 years here. 20 23 or 4 years in this spot.
Okay.
So I like it here.
Yeah.
Madison is a great town. So welcome to the town.
Oh, thank you, Kathy.
And
we appreciate
it's
it.
kind of fun.
I enjoy your show.
Well, I appreciate that.
I enjoy your show.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for putting up with us, two dummies. And
I love that. All right. Kathy, have a good day, all right?
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate it. That made our day.
You know, I do the census, and I've been out on the east side a few times, and
Yeah.
I didn't really know that there were a lot of communes left.
Are there?
Yes, there are.
Are you kidding me?
No, seriously.
What do you mean communes? Are you serious?
Yeah, people who live together.
Yeah, well, okay, but like
a co-op or a commune?
yeah.
It's it's a combination co-op commune, and I still haven't been able to figure it out.
Okay.
That must be tough for the census.
It is tough to figure out whether I need to actually,
Is it a family?
give the survey to them. I'm not sure. Communes are group quarters.
Okay.
They have different categories for all of this stuff.
Interesting.
So it's hard to figure out sometimes whether I should have that survey with them or not.
That's got to be tough.
It's a tough business.
Okay.
It's so confusing. But why don't we get to the RNC?
Okay. Let's
right.
fire up the dumpster because it's
let's get
Dumpster
that.
Fire
Yeah.
Friday.
We want to
got a
burn
lot of
this stuff up.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got too many things. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. We got the fire going here.
Look
out.
I do want to mention that
careful.
Trump gave his speech last night, which seemed to go on and on and on forever. I went to bed early.
Minutes. Yeah. 93 minutes.
I just got up to see if he looked well or not, and he didn't look well, and he spoke slowly, and I still think that he has a problem hearing in his right ear. I think he has a problem there, and they haven't released any medical information.
He was kind of rambling for quite a while toward the end.
Yeah.
Just kind of tailed off there.
Well, he didn't want to get off the stage.
No, he didn't.
Nothing new there.
Nope.
But he did mention immigrants are not stealing American jobs. By the way, I just thought I'd mentioned it to him. If he's listening to the show this morning, you can get our show almost anywhere. So I'm sure he's listening right now to see what the criticisms were. Yeah. There are currently more jobs than workers in the U.S. So that's not a bad problem to have. But, of course, let's get rid of all the immigrants so we can't fill any of those empty jobs. Trump keeps talking about migrant crime, but undocumented immigrants are far less likely to commit crimes than U.S. citizens, okay? Just to kind of just throw a few things out there.
Reality check. Huh?
We do have a fact checker.
Do we?
That wonderful guy from CNN. I just love this guy.
We got to get his name. He's very good.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Do we
Daniel Dale?
Daniel Dale, yeah.
Thank you.
Why don't we,
Mr. Peabody?
Why? It's a little over 2 minutes, but it's great stuff. I mean, this guy hears what he says, he mentally notes it, and then knows what the answers are. He's a genius. This guy's fantastic. Let's listen to his criticism, his approach to what happened last night with the Trump speech.
The world was at peace. Our opponents inherited a world at peace and turned it into a planet of war. We're in a planet of war. The whole world was at peace, and now the world is blowing up around us.
This is false. Trump did not achieve world peace when he was president, certainly wasn't at peace when he left office. There were active wars or armed conflicts in dozens of nations in 2020, 51 by one research institution's count, and then 51 again in 2021. Trump handed President Biden ongoing civil wars in Yemen and Syria, of course, an unresolved Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Israeli-Iranian conflict, a war in Ethiopia. I could go on for a while, but I don't have time because there were so many other false claims. So let's adjust some of those, not even all of them. He repeated his usual lie about Democrats having cheated in the 2020 election. It's nonsense. He said crime is going up. The opposite is true. It's gone sharply down in 2023 and early 2024, is now lower than it was under Trump in 2020. He said we have the worst inflation we've ever had. Again, not even close. It is 3% right now. The U.S. record is 23.7%. He said there was no inflation under him. It was low, of course, but not non-existent. It was 8% total for his presidency, 1.4% year over year in the month he left office. He said the price of groceries is up 57% under Biden. It's actually 21%. He said Democrats are proposing to quadruple people's taxes. That is imaginary. He said his tax cut was the largest in American history, not even close again. He said the Biden administration does nothing to stop migrants. Well, the administration tried to get Congress to pass a bill to tighten the border, and after Trump himself helped to kill that bill, Biden took executive action to tighten the border. Trump said he stopped human trafficking. Again, not true. He said China stopped buying oil from Iran under him. Also did not happen. He said foreign governments are deliberately sending criminals and mental health patients to the U.S. as migrants. His own campaign has been unable to provide proof for that. I certainly haven't found any myself. He said we defeated ISIS, 100% of ISIS, in a couple of months. In fact, the ISIS caliphate was declared fully liberated more than 2 years into his presidency. And there were other exaggerations about trade with China, about North Korean missile launches, about gas prices, about IRS agents. So it just went on and on and on in terms of falsehood, just like the speech went on and on and on itself. Jake?
All right, Daniel Dale, thanks so much. And you could read more of CNN's fact checks at cnn.com/facts first.
I would definitely check that out if I were you. Just it's great stuff.
But other than that,
So, of course, it'd be a lot shorter if you just, said what Trump was right about.
Exactly. Yeah. What was true. Yeah.
If there was any of that at all.
I don't think so.
I want to get to cut 88 here. We were talking about the signage that people were holding up at the RNC.
Yeah.
And it seemed like each night they had a different one. Well, that ended up being true. Why don't we check that out? Here.
Okay.
Every single evening this week, the Republican National Convention is printing signs for delegates and attendees to wave. And tonight's sign is very revealing of where the party is right now. It says mass deportations now. Mass deportations now. That is the kind of policy that is alarming, even cruel, even un-American to folks on the left. And that is the intended effect. Someone I spoke to just a moment ago said it's going to make heads explode. And you may wonder, is that where the Republican Party is today? I did a little digging. I can tell you from my reporting during the primary season talking to voters, the answer is absolutely yes. And the answer from pollsters is absolutely yes. 3 out of 4 Republicans want immigration to decline in America, and they believe that immigration brings in drugs, brings in crime, and makes the economy worse, even, quote, reduces social and moral values. On top of that, a full 80% of Republicans, according to CBS News' own polling, agree with Donald Trump when he says that illegal immigration is poisoning the blood of the country, one of his most explosive phrases.
Yeah.
When you think about the journey that the Republican Party has taken from the party of George W. Bush and his efforts to reform immigration in this country, some of his primetime addresses about America's history as a country of immigrants, to where we are now, it is quite a journey and something we'll be chewing over not only this evening, but I think for years to come.
Yeah, and it's just an amazing thing.
Those
having
signs.
a poll like that is just who can imagine results like that?
Well, mass deportations now. Those signs were everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. Well, not only last night, but before, earlier in the convention, too. Is that going to be the new sign on top of the Statue of Liberty or, at the base?
That's what
What's
I was
going
thinking.
On? I mean, nobody's welcome anybody. Just
way
stay
back
away.
when
Go
the
away.
immigrants were coming to the U.S., there was a similar type of movement for almost everyone that came here from whatever country they wanted to spotlight or target at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The Italians, the Irish. If we had stopped at that point, what kind of country would we have, right?
I don't know.
So it's outrageous to even think that these individuals are thinking about this problem at all. And then, of course, the drug problem. We've always had a drug problem in this country. You remember the war on drugs?
Yes.
We lost that war. But the war on drugs, they're now blaming immigrants instead of continuing the war on drugs or keeping a better policy in place, or at least coming up with a way to deal with it. Instead of doing that, they just want to blame immigrants.
Mm-hmm. All right, we are going to continue with Dumpster Fire Friday as we roll along on this Friday morning here. What are we listening to right now, Sam?
You're playing something on your phone or something.
Am I?
Yes.
I don't think that's on my phone, is it?
I don't know.
Well, maybe the sun. Sorry about that. Okay. We'll continue with the John and Gordy Show. It's 6:49. Coming right back then.
Dumpster fire burning bright, fake news blazing in the night, Wipe it out with all your might, let's restore us right.
Dumpster Fire Friday on the John and Gordy Family Show. WMDX. We're broadcasting from State Street live this morning, and the RNC is over.
That's it. That's it for this year. They're done. They're moving out of Milwaukee, packing it up, moving it out.
It's in the history books now.
A lot of memorable moments.
History books.
A lot of memorable moments. Should we get to one?
Sure.
All right, let's get to something featured on The Daily Show. I want you to pay special attention to Marjorie Taylor Greene's comments, because after each statement she makes, and this may be hard to detect, but she has a little breath, a little sigh of some sort, and it's very bizarre. It's cut 89, and I'm hoping everybody can hear this. It's not that audible, but check it out. Anyway, what she says is ridiculous too, so
all right.
Listen to that.
We'll listen.
Let's check it out. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Fiery member of Congress struggled mightily as her body rejected the unity theme as though it were transplanted like a monkey heart.
The founding father of the America First movement, Donald John Trump. Make America successful again. Wealthy again. The country we deserve.
What is she doing?
Oh, God. Oh, my. Oh, my.
I don't know what's going on
she's
there.
She's creepy.
She is.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
Very odd.
All right, let's get to another moment here. Rachel Maddow claimed Lord of the Rings is a favorite for the far right, and this is cut 86. And I didn't know any of this, but Peter Thiel, we got a text yesterday about Peter being involved with J.D. Vance, actually paid for his new career and a successful career at that. Yeah. He was the financier that backed him up all the way, and that's why he is the vice presidential candidate this time around. It was big money, a billionaire contributing again to this this elite class of politicians.
Yeah, he gave him a couple of different jobs along the way too, right?
All the way along,
groomed him,
and last night, of course, we saw Hulk Hogan. and
that was so weird.
And then Peter Thiel paid for the legal services that Hulk Hogan had in court, where he had sued a publication, which was a Growler, and they had published all this information about a porn tape that he had made.
That Hulk Hogan made.
Yeah, that Hulk Hogan made. And they sued Growler. or Gawker rather. It was Gawker. And what they did was they sued him, and they actually put Gawker out of business with that lawsuit that Peter Thiel helped pay for.
Okay.
So this guy has deep pockets and deep involvement in the right wing at this point. So let's listen to Maddow on this and using Lord of the Rings.
All right.
Like Mr. Thiel, who has named his companies after things in the Lord of the Rings series of J.R.R. Tolkien books. Lord of the Rings is a sort of favorite cosmos for naming things and cultural references for a lot of far-right and alt-right figures, both in Europe and the United States. Peter Thiel names all these things after Tolkien figures and places, like his company Palantir, for example. Like his mentor, like Peter Thiel, who had given him all his jobs in the world, Mr. Vance also, when he founded his own venture capital firm with help from Peter Thiel, named it after a Lord of the Rings thing. He called it Narya, Narya, which you can remember because it's Aryan, but you move the end to the front. Apparently that word has something to do with elves and rings from the Lord of the Rings series. I don't know.
There you go. So,
okay.
Deep in the mind of Peter Thiel. All right.
Quite odd.
Yeah, let's toss that in the dumpster quickly here because it's
the fire kind of went out.
It kind of went out, but I think
let's get it
that's
going.
Get going.
The fire extinguisher is standing by just in case.
And that is flaming on again.
All right,
definitely.
there we go. Throw it in there.
All right, here's an interesting thing. Put together by one of the big Xers out there. This is a presentation about what the Trump administration would look like with particular people in charge. And I'm just going to play. This is cut 87. Here are the actual comments from rumored people who will play a big part of the Trump administration. This is in order of the audio that you're going to hear. It doesn't matter whether you remember this or not, but you'll
Should
hear
we write this down.
You'll hear their. Yes, please write this down.
Okay.
The AG would be Mike Davis. CIA Director would be Kash Patel. Senior White House Advisor John McEntee. Secretary of State. Get this.
Okay.
Michelle Bachmann. Back again.
Wow.
I had no idea her name was being bandied about.
Yeah.
Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. Let's just get to this cut real quick here.
Okay.
Donald Trump reacting to reports about what a second term would look like.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one.
Before I get chased out of town with my Trump pardon, we're going to deport 10 million people and growing, put kids in cages. It's going to be glorious.
This is why we're tyrannical. This is why we're dictators. We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. Yes, we're going to come after you.
The elephant in the room, which is pornography. Whenever America bans that, which will be happening at some point, everyone will be much better off.
For people who know their Bible, this is exactly what the prophets told us. Transgender black Marxists are seeking the overthrow of the United States and the dissolution of the traditional family.
Neutral laws will be used to crush us. Write the law so it protects your friends and harms the bad guys. When Democrats break the law, you bring it smashing down on them.
I think you can only serve in office if you were actually born in this country, not a birthright citizen anchor baby like Nikki Haley. But I don't want people like that in our country, let alone in our Congress.
If you want to save this country, there is going to have to be a third great awakening. We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Are we going to allow that? I don't think we are going to allow that. There's going to be blood, I guess. The last two people were Laura Loomer and Kevin Roberts. Kevin Roberts, of course, one of the authors of Project 2025. So that those comments are enough to scare the daylights out of anybody, regardless of whether you remember their names or not.
Just scary. It's just completely scary.
That's what they're promising. Isn't it outrageous?
When will we wake up from this nightmare? I don't know.
There's a lot of time left before the election, so we'll see what happens. A lot of this stuff, I hope, will sink in.
Okay. Coming up in our next hour, Bob Newhart died yesterday. We're going to play a clip.
Yeah.
And also, we've got a special guest coming Monday. We'll tell you about that in just a few minutes on the John and Gordy Show.
As we were saying, let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
Do you know what this means?
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
You're pretty high and far out, aren't you? What kind of kick are you on, son?
No good bastard. Your show sucks.
What made me think this was a good day to stop drinking?
Buddy, you want coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Lacked coffee.
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 They warned us about people like you.
What a load of crap.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
We'll do it live. And that's the way it is.
Only on Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. Take it away, boys.
Okay, we will.
Yep.
7:06 and 63 degrees now. Highs about 78 today. It's the John and Gordy Show. Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. A dumpster fire Friday.
It is.
Should we reveal yet who our special guest will be on Monday?
Oh, why not?
You ready for that? I think we should wait. Let's wait.
Building anticipation.
Yeah. Because this is a heavy hitter.
Now you're building my anticipation. And I know
do you
who
know
it is.
who it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
Of course I do.
Yeah. Well, we'll tell everybody in a few minutes.
Really? Okay. All right, we'll save that. But let's get to Bob Newhart, a little tribute here on the family show. Bob Newhart passed away at 94. He was one of the absolute great comedians of all time.
Yeah.
An act that no one would ever be able to create today or ever. He did a phone act that it will live on forever. His albums are fantastic. I have a clip here. This was from a television show that I recorded off the TV.
Yeah, he had a real interesting career. He started out as an accountant in Chicago.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, and he was from Chicago. And he just thought he'd try a little bit of comedy. You know, he was very mild, meek kind of guy.
Very, very dry sense of humor.
Oh, yeah, incredible. So what are we about to hear?
We're hearing his impression of a very popular commercial way back when in the early 60s. Now, he's going to take off on it. It's a pain reliever commercial, basically, but it's also about a guy who gets very angry in the driveway of his family's home. And so Bob saw some humor in that, and this is his take on it. Let's listen to Bob Newhart.
Thing on the show, we used to take commercials and we would just change the very last line of the commercials and make them come out the way I think most people would like to see commercials come out, because most people are offended. They're an affront to your intelligence, average television commercial. They are aimed, this I know for a fact, they're aimed at the 12-year-old mentality, and those of us with 13 and 14-year-old mentalities, we object to it, and it causes a lot of frustration. So one thing you can do, if you take the commercial you hate the most and just change the very last line, you'll find you'll start looking forward to seeing this particular commercial. And it's kind of fun to do at home. There are some commercials you cannot touch. Some of them are beauties in and of themselves, and you cannot, it would be gilding the lily to try to change. So, here is one which is the most hated commercial on television. It is the greatest affront to your intelligence. It shows a guy driving into his driveway, and there's a kid's bike in the driveway. And he stops suddenly, becomes very irate, and he leans out the window. He says, Mary, will you please get Johnny bike out of the driveway? And this woman comes out of the house, and she says, Mr. Brown, you're in the wrong driveway.
There you go. That's his style. It's a fantastic comedy bit, and he just did stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, he had a couple of really great albums before he made it on TV. The Button Down Mind of Bob Newhart, which had the driving instructor, and also Abe Lincoln's marketing manager.
Yeah, you sent that to me. That's fantastic stuff, and it's always based on. His humor was based on like telephone calls.
Yes,
right. He was always talking to somebody else on the other end of that line.
Two great TV shows. One where he played a psychologist.
Yes,
that was always good.
Was that the Bob Newhart show?
That was the Bob Newhart show, and he would always take a phone call during that show, which was great.
That was his bit. That's what made him what he was.
The other show, Newhart,
right?
That was just called, and he had the inn in Vermont. With Larry and his brother Dale and the other brother Daryl and the other brother Daryl.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Well, is that the one where the last episode where he was dreaming?
Yes. The last episode, he gets hit in the head with a golf ball, gets knocked out, and then he wakes up, and he's back in his old TV show with Suzanne Plachette next to him.
Right.
It was a
Newhart show.
great ending to the Newhart show.
That was one of the all-time great endings for a series ever.
Funny stuff.
Yeah, that was just classic.
And of course, he was in a couple of movies. And most recently in The Big Bang Theory, he was in that. He did a lot of guest shots toward the end of his life, and he actually won an Emmy for one of those guest shots on Big Bang Theory. So, yeah,
there are very few, television series you can watch over and over again. And the Bob Newhart show was one of those series you could just see forever. It
was great.
It was just
great stuff.
Just the best. All right, that's our tribute to Bob Newhart. Passed away at the age of 94 yesterday. I want to get to something that is really. Oh, do you have something here? Did you want to mention?
Well, I do want to mention this portion of the John and Gordy Show is sponsored by Verlo Mattress of Madison. Sleep better, dream bigger on a handcrafted, locally made mattress. You can find them on Madison's east or west sides, or just go online, verlo.com. Okay?
All right. Now, something that I think should be getting a lot of individuals who live out there in the suburbs, and they have their families, and they have their kids, going off to school, college. And I think this is something that should anger them, or should at least give them cause to think about the party that they're going to vote for. They should be very, very angry and very apprehensive about the proposals that the MAGAs and the Trump campaign is proposing if he becomes president. Okay, I keep thinking it's the Trump administration, but they want to change college. They want to change the way colleges teach students.
They're really going after this.
They are really going after this. They think it's very woke, and they want to take politics out of college or the education of our students by replacing it with their politics.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it's all about.
That's the plan.
So anyway, I just want to start off with J.D. Vance on this, because he had an amazing statement about this. Let's check this. This is cut 91. And he was asked the question, Viktor Orban seized control of universities and put them in foundations. What are you advocating here in the U.S.? Let's check this out.
Who is a total fraud.
That I agree with you on Trump, because I don't think that he's the person. I don't think he actually cares about folks.
But I think that I'm going to vote for. I'm going to vote third party, because I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place.
Are we looking for a different cut?
Yeah, that was a different cut. Do we have two cuts there from J.D. Vance? We had cut 90.
92.
That should have been cut 90, and there's a cut 91.
Here we go.
92.
Okay, let's go with that one.
Survival or taking a much less successfully dealing with the left-wing domination of universities is Viktor Orban's approach in Hungary. I think his way has to be the model for us, not to eliminate universities, but to give the choice between survival or taking a much less biased approach to teaching. He seized control of state universities and put them in foundations that were then run by his allies. Is that what you're advocating be done in the United States?
Well, Margaret, what you're seeing in the United States actually is that universities are controlled by left-wing foundations. They're not controlled by the American taxpayer. Yet the American taxpayer is sending hundreds of billions of dollars to these universities every single year.
I don't want taxpayers controlling education necessarily. Is that what you're advocating for, federal government?
Margaret, what I'm advocating for is for taxpayers to have a say in how their money is spent. Universities are part of a social contract in this country. They educate our children. They produce important intellectual property. They get a lot of money because of it. But if they're not educating our children well, and they're layering the next generation down in mountains of student debt, then they're not meeting their end of the bargain. I think it's totally reasonable to say there needs to be a political solution to that problem.
Well, America's universities still attract talent from around the world, as You've went to one of America's very top schools.
Look, there's still good things about American universities, but it's going in the wrong direction, Margaret.
But Viktor Orban in particular, as you know, I mean, he rewrote the Constitution, he neutered the courts, he has tried to control the media. These are not necessarily conservative principles. So why would you want to mimic him?
Well, look, I'm not endorsing every single thing that Viktor Orban has ever done. I don't know everything he's ever done. What I do think is on the university principle, the idea that taxpayers should have some influence in how their money is spent at these universities, it's a totally reasonable thing. And I do think that he's made some smart decisions there that we could learn from in the United States.
The most ridiculous reason to change our universities ever is that the parents should have some say over how their kid is educated. And what he wants to do is he wants to take the woke agenda out of colleges and replace it with, obviously, an unwoke agenda. Now, the problem I have with this, and I had this with the unions as well, he's saying that the public or parents should have some say over this. They do. They don't have to send their kid to that college.
Right. They could choose a different college.
They could go to a different college.
Right.
One
That's
that thinks
their
like
say.
them. Yeah, that's the control a parent has over it.
Right.
A parent doesn't have control over how a college teaches that child. They could have a lawsuit, win the lawsuit. The college could lose all these accreditations and college courses. And the thing is, the same thing happened with the unions as well. You had people saying, I don't want to pay union dues. I don't want to be part of the union.
Right.
So they took the unions out.
Yeah.
Instead of find another job.
Yeah, go somewhere else.
Go someplace else. The freedom that they're talking about is not real freedom at all. It is controlling other people.
Yeah.
That's the freedom they want, to control other people instead of taking a hike. If you don't like the college, if it's too woke for you, find another college, my God. Or at least send your kid to the college they want to go to. Maybe they have some say in all of this. But again, the public, and I think the interviewer did a fantastic job of keeping them on point. The problem here is they want to control what colleges teach.
Yeah.
And that should be a scary thing for every parent out there that has a child growing up and eventually hoping to go to college someday. You just don't want that.
Right. That's it.
It's just an amazing concept that they have, that parents should have control of the schools, the public schools, and they should have control of colleges. No, they have a choice. People move to communities to go to a specific kind of school system. They don't have to. They can go someplace else if they want.
7:18, we are going to check in with Brittany Merlot next and get a preview of what's happening weather-wise for the weekend here on the John and Gordy Show. Should we do planetary weather, interplanetary
If you
weather?
want, sure.
Let's pick a planet, Neptune.
I also stopped.
Neptune.
Really, Neptune?
Yeah, let's dial up Neptune.
Okay, the temperature.
It's very
in
blue
Neptune.
there.
It's what?
It's very blue,
Is
very
it?
cool. Well, that's
Sam, off the top of your head, why don't you tell us about Neptune?
Oh God. Is that the one where the pole is like horizontal, or is that?
I don't know.
It's okay.
I just like the jingle.
It's minus 330 degrees Fahrenheit.
Brittany is
or minus 200 centigrade. Okay,
I can see she's
feverishly
writing something down.
Just the temperature.
Getting ready. Okay.
15 seconds.
Okay.
Of course, these temperatures do not change.
Should we reveal who our special guest is?
Man Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM, 1580 AM. That's the old theme song to the John and Gordy TV show. We had our own
Wait,
comedy
are you serious?
special. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we had a syndicated show.
It sounds like a TV thing.
It does.
Well, this used to be
from the 70s.
Well, this used to be a theme to a different show that aired on the network. It's not a thing anymore. But
Okay.
Oh, I kind of like it.
I'm bringing it back. I like the song.
All right.
It's really different. Okay. It is 20 minutes past the hour, and it's going to be a nice day. Beautiful sunshine right now. And
you know who we can thank for that?
Who can we
Brittany
thank?
Merlot.
Yes.
Yay. Promised us this weather, and let's give her all the credit in the world for making this happen.
Yeah. Let's have a round of applause for Brittany.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So it's sunny right now and looking great for today. Highs in the upper 70s. What about Saturday and Sunday? Because we have the Dane County Fair going on, Maxwell Street's going on, all kinds of events happening. How's it shaping up, Brittany?
All right. So for tomorrow, we are going to hit high temperatures in those low 80s, and I think we're going to avoid all of the rain. So just mostly sunny to start, clouds increasing throughout the day. Then on Sunday, this cold front is going to be dropping through the state, and I think it is going to hit you by Sunday afternoon. So we're going to see some showers and storms firing up. Some of us can get underneath of them, and some of us won't. And if we do, it does look like a quick half an inch of rainfall in some of those storms.
Wow.
Okay. So most of the weekend, okay, but late Sunday, look out. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
I think a lot of us, too, are going to be seeing some twisters regardless. Probably in the movie theater, but not so much in real life. And then they're going to be severe. Don't worry.
We got to check out that movie, and then we'll have our reviews on Monday.
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not like a movie I'm going to run out and see.
What?
You have to.
Do I
on,
care?
man.
Do I care if I even see this movie?
What do you mean, do you
Or
care?
maybe I'll
Do
wait
you not
until
like
it's
the
streamed.
original?
No, I hated the original.
What?
You did.
It was. How is that possible? It
I
was
know.
a great
Everybody
movie.
loves
It was
seeing
a lot of fun.
Twisters.
I have a sneaking feeling that I'm going to like the original more than
Probably
the new one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
Ooh.
the special effects are much better now. I would hope that they make the Twister look like a real Twister, and so it's
John, you
instead
still
of
haven't seen a real Twister. How do you
instead
know
of-
what it looks
instead
like?
of something out of
Seen video, but yeah.
a Daffy Duck cartoon.
Okay. All right. Well, you're very critical about that.
I am. I want to see a good Twister. Now that I know they don't have all these little ribs in it, and they're just
Flying cows.
Yeah, flying cows.
Yeah. I wonder what they'll have in the new
Although
one.
the flying cows,
That was
people
pretty
remember
funny.
that because
They do.
we're in the dairy state. It's a big deal.
true.
Well, I think everybody remembers it, but I think it's time for our special feature, only exclusively to the John and Gordy Show. It's time for
It is exclusive.
Interplanetary weather.
We're the only station that would ever dare to have interplanetary weather forecast.
Today's planet is Neptune.
Neptune. Wow.
Brittany,
Ooh, okay.
what can you tell us
Neptune?
about Neptune? How's the temperature there today?
Well, it's going to be pretty warm over there. It's going to be a negative 333 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, that's warm.
something.
I mean, sometimes it gets down to like 400, minus 400 degrees.
Wow.
Right? So they're
but
living it up.
This is a warm front for them.
Yeah. What's the 10-day forecast on Neptune?
No, we don't do that. We don't
I
do that.
can't do that.
Okay.
Working on
All
those
right.
skills. I'm working on
Okay.
it.
We work on it. Okay.
We're trying to
deal.
add that to the weather vein. It doesn't work.
You got big plans for the weekend, Brittany?
Yeah, so we've got Rockfest going on up here in the Northwoods, up in towards Eau Claire area. So I might check that out. Also, I'll be headed down to EAA for the week. So I got to set up camp on Sunday so I can talk to you guys on Monday from the grounds. Yes.
Oh, great.
Good deal.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
excited about that.
Why are you going there?
Oh, because I'm actually trying to be a private pilot. I'm working on my private pilot's license. So this big airplane show and meteorology, I mean, come on, those two are just given combined. Yes.
Excellent. Well, good for you.
Because they're meteorologists, they go up in an airplane, they open the window, they stick their arm up, they say, it's colder up here, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
All right. Well,
All right,
Brittany,
Brittany.
thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Sounds
And
good.
Have a good weekend.
You as well. Bye.
All right.
Thank you. And let's make that announcement.
Big
Our special
announcement.
guest.
Big announcement.
Next week, right?
On Monday, we will be talking to former Mayor Paul Soglin. He'll be in the studio with us. We used to hang out with him every once in a while
Every
back
once
in
in
the
a while,
old
we
days.
used to run into him. Yeah.
He's been mayor 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell us his thoughts, we're going to ask him about the convention that just wrapped up and maybe
His
what to
thoughts
look
about,
ahead.
the bus system, the new bus system that
right
is taking place here in town, and also affordable housing.
Yes, housing
situations. He has a few opinions about that, and we'll get them.
Yep.
We may conflict a little bit about some of those ideas.
Well, Paul is never shy about his opinions, so we look forward to having him in.
So we're going to throw ours into the mix as well. I ran into Paul, as I told you the story. Ran into him in Woodman's.
Recently.
Yeah. I saw him in Woodman's.
Yeah.
I saw him shopping. He is not the participant that wants to shop. I can tell that. He's the guy who pushes the cart. His wife is the shopper.
Okay.
But I thought, well, I'll just go up to him and say, hey, can you be on our show sometime?
Right.
And I chickened out. I did not do it.
Why did you chicken out?
I can't believe. I feel like he's probably harassed everywhere he goes because everybody knows Paul Soglin,
right?
And what he looks like.
Well,
and so I just left him alone.
Do you think he remembers you?
Well, no, I don't. I never assume anybody remembers me.
Okay.
But I did want to ask him to be on the show, and I missed that chance. Like John Nichols. I saw him at the protest, and I could have walked up and, hey, John. And John and I know each other.
Right.
We've done a few elections together at other stations. And I didn't do it. I was...
He chickened out again.
Yeah, I did.
Why
I
do you
chickened
do
out
that?
because, I don't want to harass him. Everybody walks up to him. I know
for?
you, John. All this stuff.
Great.
It's just ridiculous.
Okay. Anyway, Paul Soglin on our show Monday, so tune in for that. Let's go to the phones. Mark is on the line with a comment this morning. Good morning, Mark.
Yeah, you're talking about twisters. Years ago, a buddy and I were out on a little flowage way up north, and the wind was coming up over the tops of the trees, and all of a sudden it dropped down, and a dust devil water spout skipped across the flowage from the other side of us. Looking across it, that we were a distance away from it, but it was picking everything up and as tall as the trees, and it was a little interesting and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
Sounds frightening.
Yeah, I always wonder what happened to those water spouts. They hit land? Do they turn into then tornadoes, actual devastating tornadoes, or did the water spouts just stay over the water?
I think it was like a dust devil.
Okay,
so it's like a little,
like a vacuum cleaner.
But it was only like it's 50, 60 feet high, as tall as the trees, but it would have been enough to lift us up in the canoe, probably.
Oh yeah,
and
kind of like a mini tornado.
Definitely lift you. If you had a styrofoam canoe, some people have styrofoam boats and canoes. All right, well, thank you, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
All right, have a good weekend.
All right.
Okay.
I had so much stuff here.
I know, but guess what?
I've got all this stuff.
Well, save it for the next dumpster fire, okay? We got to move along here. Right. It's 7:29, and coming up next, Rocker is in the studio like he is every Friday morning. Going to let us know what's happening on Max Inc. this weekend.
All the local music.
It's the John and Gordy Show on WMDX.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
John and Gordy in the morning.
As we were saying,
let the sun shine.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
Well, kids, there it is, Capital City.
There's a swinging town I know called Capital City.
Madison.
People stop and scream hello in Capital City.
Madison.
It's the kind of place that makes a bum feel like a king.
Madison.
And it makes a king feel like some nutty cuckoo super king.
Look, it's Tony Bennett.
Hey, good to see you. It's against the law to frown in.
In the capital city of Madison,
here we are
the John and
again.
Gordy Family Show, WMDX. And our special guest, of course, every Friday morning is rocker, Maxink Radio.
What's happening, guys?
Hey.
How you doing?
You are happening. Yeah.
Well, as I was driving in, I was listening to the piece on Bob Newhart.
Right, yeah.
And I was thinking about my college days back in the mid-'90s, probably just before Newhart started. But those old Bob Newhart, they were so, on they were being syndicated, right?
Yeah, a lot of reruns, yeah.
So in college, we would sit around and watch Bob Newhart and, of course, take a drink of beer every time they said Bob.
Yeah.
So, you'd watch these
That's
on
at
repeat.
the beer drinking game.
Yeah.
I remember that now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was something too where you would do a shot. It was a little more rare than Bob, so it was beer and shots.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure it got modified.
Well, you gotta add to the alcohol, right?
Great show, great, and what a funny cast too. The next door neighbor, goofy, airline pilot, next door neighbor, Bill Daly. Yeah.
Bill Daly, yeah.
And the other brothers on Newhart. I love those guys.
Yeah.
That was the funniest
Larry
show.
and his brother Daryl and the other brother Daryl. Yeah, good stuff. All right, Rock, what's happening this weekend?
Maxink Radio, we broadcast here on the Civic Media Radio Network Saturday night, 6 p.m. to midnight. This weekend, we're going to be talking to Phil Kegley. Phil Kegley was a great Madison musician who moved down to Austin and found some great things down there. And he's going to be coming back this weekend for a couple shows. And we're going to be talking to him about that and some new recordings. And he'll also be playing, I believe, some live music, a couple acoustic songs.
Okay.
Phil Kegley, then Dusty Bowe. Terry Barr interviews Dusty Bowe. He's from Louisville, Kentucky. And, of course, he's playing Atwood Fest this year, an amazing guitarist. And then live in the Lair, Mojo Perry, cigar box guitar guru. He's going to be in here solo. And, of course, he will be playing Atwood Fest next week as well.
It's going to be fun.
Box guitars.
Yeah.
Man,
it's good stuff.
Fascinated.
All right.
And so let's talk a little Atwood Fest, because that's coming up next weekend, July 27th and 28th. It's a good thing to plan for because there's a lot of bands, 30 bands, 3 stages, 2 days. There's tons of food and craft vendors in Vendor Alley. Vendor Alley goes from Tex Tubbs to Monty's Blue Plate. So the whole street's closed off. Bring your kids, but don't bring the puppers. And, I wanted to say for a second, when you go to the festival, right?
Yeah, what's the atmosphere like?
People think like it's just like stages. Yeah, there's bands. But, the Atwood Festival is embedded in the Atwood neighborhood. It's very different than Pike Park, where you just have kind of a space with, a wall around it. Here it is. Where Atwood Avenue, we close it. It's like a block party, right? So they close it from Tex Tubbs, where we have the Luther Allison stage right in front of Tex Tubbs there, all the way down to Monty's Blue Plate. And at Monty's Blue Plate parking lot is where we have the Sugar Maple stage. In between that are just vendors upon vendors, crafts, food. It's really a really cool alley. And when it gets to be night, it's like a night market, right? But then there's music at the stages, and the Clyde Stubblefield stage is located in the United Way parking lot.
Okay.
And then a Kids Fest across the street from that. So it's a very cool place where, you want to walk around, and sometimes you got to plan, because like Summerfest in a way, there might be a great band on one stage, and at the same time, there might be another great band on another stage. So you might have to plan where you're going to be at what times, because there are great bands everywhere. Convergence is a parade that we have right before Atwood Fest started out. There are 4 parades that zoom through the neighborhood bashing pots and pans and yelling, making noise. The amphibians are there dressing in costumes, and everybody follows them. It's like the Pied Piper right over to Atwood Fest, where they converge for convergence with Panchromatic Steel, the 8-piece steel band.
Oh, wow.
Steel pan band.
What is this, Handphibians?
Handphibians is kind of they're like a hand drumming group, a really large, a lot of them. So it's like a big, giant drum circle. But instead of like people who don't know what they're doing, they do.
Okay. Well, that's good.
It's a drum circle of people who know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Good deal.
Yeah, so let's talk about some highlights of stuff coming into Atwood Fest next week. We have Julian Primo. He is a New Orleans Hall of Famer now, Grammy-nominated artist. He was just in the Hall of Fame down there. Candy Cigarette. They're a power trio from Wisconsin, and they're all under 15 years old. These guys are amazing.
No
They're playing Summerfest. They're playing the Whammy party. Yeah.
I love the name, Candy Cigarette. What the hell? Finally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're pretty fun.
Yeah.
And they've been a band for a while. It's not like they're new.
Really?
Yeah, they've been around.
Under 15, and they've been around a while?
They've been around.
And it's a power trio.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Okay.
Candy Cigarette.
Can't wait to hear them.
UW Mad Hatters. I can't say enough. This is their last show with this lineup. They're an 11-piece a cappella, and they're going to be right before VO5. They're going to play some really cool songs, and I hope people come out for it. It's going to be a really special performance.
You had them on Max Inc.
We did.
Not too long, a couple months ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have the podcast up on civicmedia.us. Just find the Max Inc. Radio podcast.
All right.
And let's get to a song. I think that John is going to like this one. It's Rit and Wilder Dietz. They're going to play at Atwood Fest. They're a father-son duo. And the Isthmus said Dietz combines rugged mountain sonics with an aesthetic that's closer to ragtime than anything else. At times, he resembles Tom Waits in his ability to marry sophistication with down-homeness.
Like it.
This is East Side. This is Rit Dietz.
The Catfish River flows from the fourth lake to the third, like Mendota rolls your horror. To Monona sings the bird who heads it south to south and north in the west. Well, that's where the sun goes down. You belong on the east side of this town. I could fish all day with my friends off a Bible camp. Like to walk and walk up and down Monroe. But the cottonwoods at Albrecht, they got a whisper, I know. Back to the east side you go.
That is really,
Great.
really good stuff. You know exactly what I like. Yeah. I mean, the cottonwoods, spreading all that cottonwood all over the place.
Oh,
I got to say that, I play a little guitar. And I really
little
want
tiny guitar.
I know. I got this
long.
little tiny foot-long guitar so I could play while I'm sitting in my lounge chair.
Most people would call it a ukulele, but go ahead.
No, it's not a ukulele.
Okay.
I guess I could have got that.
You
though.
could have.
All right. But anyway, I've always wanted to get back into playing guitar and then writing music like this about this great city.
Wow, that sounds great.
It's not too late. You can pick it up again.
And if you do, John, get it recorded and then send an MP3 to music@civicmedia.us and we'll play it on Max Inc. Radio.
There you go.
There you go. Just as easy as that.
Okay.
Let's get back to Atwood Fest highlights.
Yes.
Clyde Stubblefield tribute opens Atwood Fest on Saturday. That's the Funky JBs. And Steely Dan opens Atwood Fest on Sunday. And I'd like to talk about the closing, the grand finale on the Clyde Stubblefield stage, Generation Jones. And it features Michael Massey, Moreau Magellan from the Georgia Satellites, Kyle Henderson from the Producers, Shawnee Marks, plus local celebrity guest cameo appearances all throughout the set. And Chris Kammer, our buddy, will be the MC of that segment.
Great. Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
And Michael Massey is part of our jingle.
That's right.
We did our John and Gordy jingle. Yeah.
Oh, Madison is a small town, is it not?
Yeah.
It is.
And Shawnee Marks from Gin Chocolate and Bottle Rockets, part of that group too. Great stuff. Great vocalists. All-star
group with celebrity guests, local celebrity guests. It's going to be a lot of fun. Elizabeth Mary Band featuring Last Crack guitarist Paul Schluter, and that's actually her husband, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be playing, and then directly after them, closing out Atwood Fest, is going to be Parker Barrow. They are from Nashville. They feature another husband and wife duo of Megan Kane and Dylan Turner. And they're compared to Bonnie and Clyde, Parker and Barrow, because they're constant touring, right? They're always in a car cruising from one city to another. They are amazing. They're country rock, they're rock and roll, maybe even a little Zeppelin thrown in.
Are they robbing banks as well?
Hope not.
They are. They're going to be robbing people at Summerfest of all their energy because it's going to be amazing. This is an amazing band. They are definitely the hidden gem, I think, of the festival. We interviewed them on Max Inc. Radio last week, so you can go to civicmedia.us and find our podcast, Max Inc. Radio, and the interview is broken out. Right now, let's listen to their hit song. This is Count Your Dollars, Parker Barrow from Nashville, appearing at Atwood Fest next week.
You know that talk is cheap. I leave the top into the birds. I've never been one for running with the herd. I don't have time for your station stones that you toss it from your thought. No more time, no more lies, gonna reap all that you
Powerful. Yeah.
Are they
I like
good?
the drummer.
Yeah, he's got a little John Bonham in him, doesn't he?
Yeah. Something about the sound of that snare drum. Just cuts right through.
Yeah. And he's great. I think it is a great band. I'm really, really excited to see them. That's Parker Barrow. They're at 5:30 on Sunday at Atwood Fest. Of course, you can go to atwoodfest.com to find out like the full schedule and when each band is playing.
Plan your time down there.
Because it's hard for me to tell you, they're playing on Saturday, they're playing on Saturday, this stage, that stage. There's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Jed and Company, they have been added to Atwood Fest. They are a new band based, they're new Madison band. They're based here, and Grateful Dead tribute. Their new Grateful Dead tribute band. They're replacing Sia Tolno and Afro Dead, who actually had to cancel for visa reasons. They were coming from Spain, and there's always a lot of problems with musicians trying to get into this country. Horace Green, he is coming to Atwood Fest. Indie rock from the Fox River Valley. Horace Green is hot right now, and he's on tour throughout Wisconsin, playing Harley Fest in Milwaukee on July 25th, Atwood Fest on July 27th, and then the Mile of Music in Appleton from August 1st to August 4th. Let's listen to a little Horace Green. This is Sunflower.
And what loves I used to have in life, they have passed. I'll bring them back when life ain't so fast. But nostalgia's a vice, not just a memory. I cry for a better time. I never wanna say goodbye to love. I never wanna say goodbye. I never wanna say goodbye to love. I never wanna say goodbye to love. To love. Daddy's soul come to me in times of
That's a really interesting sound. I like that.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. And
good stuff.
They have definitely some more rock and stuff as well. He has quite a few recordings out. He's very popular up in the Fox River Valley. Great guitar player, and I think if you take your significant other there, you might be lucky that night. That's what kind of music this is going to get you
romantic,
going. Get your hips moving.
Yeah, one of the great things about seeing a band live is discovering them, and then finding out how it affects you personally. Just being there with whoever you're with, and just it becomes your band, your group, the one that you want to see next time they're in town. That's the great thing about live performing.
That is, you want to sing their song along with them, right?
Absolutely. It is 7:49. We're coming back with more with Rocker with the rest of the Max Inc. preview on the John and Gordy Show.
Dig this crazy pad. Man, it's a mad pad.
Yes, it is.
Mad Radio, WMDX, the John and Gordy Family Show with Rocker in the studio, Max Inc. Radio. We're looking at all the bands that are coming to town, and let's continue.
Well, let's get to that in a moment after I tell you that it's 7:51, 66 degrees, highs today in the upper 70s. And this portion of the John and Gordy Show is sponsored by Verlo Mattress of Madison. Sleep better, dream bigger on a handcrafted, locally made mattress. You can find them on Madison's east and west sides or online at verlo.com. All right, now let's get back to Rocker with the Max Inc. preview.
Okay, my Atwood Fest recap, Saturday and Sunday, July 28th, Atwood Avenue, Madison's east side, from Tex Tubbs to Monty's Blue Plate. Music starts at noon, both days, 30 bands, 3 stages, 2 days. Follow Atwood Fest on Facebook or go to atwoodfest.com to find out all the bands, the full schedule. Click on the profiles, watch videos.
That's just an incredible event. I mean, all these bands.
It really is.
I mean, it's just,
How many
something
years?
there for everybody.
How many years has this been going on?
This 10.
Yeah.
But before that, the festival actually started in 1981 and was called Atwood Summerfest.
Okay.
And then 10 years ago, it got changed to Atwood Fest. I've been doing it for 22 years.
Wow, man. Good for
we
you.
brought a lot
Thank
of
you.
bands through the area.
Yeah.
And I think it's, Madison's premier live music festival. I mean, it's really about the music and the community. It's a meta community event.
Wow. Let me write that down. Meta community.
Meta community.
I don't know what
event.
that means, but it sounds cool.
Look it up, man.
Explain.
Hey, Linda and the Zeros. This is happening tonight, July 19th at 7 p.m. at the Memorial Union Terrace, right on the lake. Groovy, jammy, funky, soulful. Linda sings and dances. She takes your breath away because she's so energetic and dancing. It's a 10-piece band. They are absolutely amazing. Let's listen to some right now. This is Linda and the Zeros. Time.
When I need you most, I'm out of time. So when I pull you close, I'm wanting to never let you go. The clock strikes and you're gone. In the blink of an eye, I'm out of time.
That guy has that little guitar that I've been practicing on my
miniature guitar.
My recliner, my miniature guitar.
Linda and the Zeros.
Yeah.
It'll be a good night at the Memorial Union tonight. It's going to be beautiful.
Drive up in your boat, right?
Right. Yeah. Why not?
That's the way to do it. Have you ever been in a boat watching a concert?
No. No.
It's really, really cool. And you get to do that at the Memorial Union, right? You pull up, everybody anchors. There's kind of another like sort of culture of all the boat people. And then there's all the people that are there at the terrace, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And then the boat people, though, then they'll go anchor. They'll go get some beer and stuff, mingle in, go dance, and then get back on their boat. And it's kind of a crazy.
Sam, why don't you bring the styrofoam sailboat?
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Okay. That'd be great, man.
You got to watch out for the PFAS foam on the lake, though. I understand. It's pretty powerful.
Okay.
Well, let's stick with the Memorial Terrace at the UW here. Coming up Saturday, August 3rd. That's in like 2 weeks at 7 p.m. It's going to be Steez. And Steez is this really great Madison-based, it's a fusion band. It's disco-fanged multi-beast. Funky, jammy. They're really talented. It's a great place to see live music. Let's listen to a little bit of Steez. This is Last Night.
Seems that you like me, but don't know to tell me. I reach out and touch you, but you think I'm crazy. I try to break through you and buy you some whiskey. I want to get frisky. Yeah. Last night, it was alright. Last night, we turned out the
Memorial Terrace going, won't it?
Funky.
They're a fun band. I mean, go see these bands outside. Some great weather down at the terrace. I mean, the only thing better, I think, is Atwood Fest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to forget about that.
He agrees with me right away.
Yeah.
But, there's something going on. I think there's some kind of ice cream crawl going on.
What are you talking about?
This weekend.
Chocolate Shop Ice Cream is doing... What? I saw it in one of your stories, John.
Yeah, I'm looking for it here. I know that I brought it in, but yeah, there's an ice cream crawl, and it's Bancroft.
Okay.
Well, no, what's the name?
Chocolate Shop?
Chocolate Shop is going to all the chocolate shops.
Okay.
And you get a free scoop of ice cream at each one of the 7 or 8 chocolate shops.
They have great ice cream, too. And they're a great sponsor of Atwood Fest.
Oh, fantastic. So there it is. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, there's something going on this Sunday, right?
This Sunday coming up, Sunspot. They are a legendary Madison-based rock trio. They've been playing and touring for 28 years, guys, right here in
But
Madison.
they're tired, man. They need to take a break. Jeez, once in a while.
Not even close. These guys are playing all the time. Join Sunspot for a free full-blown electric hometown show right in the heart of Madison during Maxwell Street Days. They are going to be in Lisa Link Park Sunday, July 20th at 3 p.m. This is Sunspot. I Don't Want to Be a Ghost.
All right.
I don't want to be a ghost, I just want to be a man. I don't want to hear my friends when I cannot talk to them. I'll be right behind the wall and I'll wait for you to call my name. I used to want to come back as a spirit and be in some romantic tragedy. I'd be Patrick Swayze and you would be my sweet Demi. But when I talk, you couldn't hear it. If I materialized, you couldn't see. How could I be happy without some sexy pottery? If we can be together.
I like that song a lot. That's great. Sunspot.
Yeah, and that's who does the American Ghost Walks down here up at the Capitol.
No kidding. That's it.
Wow. That's those. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mike Huberty, he does that. That's his business. And it's a lot of fun.
What a play on
There are
words.
tons of ghost stories in this building, by the way, or more in the Orpheum Theater than necessarily where we are.
All right.
Rocker, thanks. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you at Atwood Fest next weekend.
That's right.
And that's going to wrap it up for John and Gordy Show. Paul Soglin will join us on Monday. Have a great weekend.
40 in the morning, as we were saying. Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.